The TV was just droning on in the living room. Same old, same old. Donald mindlessly clicked through the channels, not really looking for anything, just clicking. Nothing grabbed him, not even a little bit. Finally, he just gave up and left it on the late night news. Some lady was rattling off a list of all the terrible stuff happening around town. Robberies, assaults, the usual depressing garbage. Then Mr. Sunshine Weatherman came on, all smiles, to tell everyone about the week of rain heading their way. Seriously? Donald was officially over it. Time for bed, he figured. He shuffled off to the bedroom, letting out a yawn that stretched his jaw. The tile floor was freezing on his bare feet, which always surprised him, even though it was the same every night. The little lamp on Doris's nightstand was still on, casting a warm glow on her face. She was totally lost in her book, like always. It was her nightly ritual, a long, hot bath with those Epsom salts she swore by, followed by hours curled up with a book. Donald always watched her, a little envious. He longed for that kind of focus, that kind of immersion. She never looked at him like that. He didn't get that attention. He wasn't looked at like he was the most interesting thing in the world. He wished he could hold her attention in the way those words on the page did. He padded over to the bed. Well, their bed in theory. It was one of those narrow deals. A queen size that felt more like a twin when they both were in it. He lifted the covers, ready to slide in next to her, maybe sneak in a cuddle. But before he could even get properly settled, she was already pulling away, putting distance between them. Her back was to him, a solid, silent wall. She didn't even need to say anything. Her body language screamed, "Stay away." "What are you doing?" she finally asked, her voice sharp and cold enough to cut through glass. The word "doing" felt loaded, like he was intruding or doing something wrong by simply getting into bed. There was a thick layer of disgust coating her words, making him feel like he'd tracked mud into the bedroom. "Get into your own bed." The words hung in the air, heavy and final. It wasn't a suggestion, it was an order. Donald felt a familiar sting of rejection. He knew what she meant, of course, the guest room, where he'd been sleeping more and more lately. It was smaller, the mattress was lumpy, and it smelled faintly of mothballs, but at least he wouldn't be in her space. He couldn't help but wonder what he had done to deserve the cold shoulder. Was it something he said, something he didn't say, or was it just him, his very presence, that bothered her so much? He knew their marriage had been on the rocks for a while now, but hearing the words out loud, even indirectly, still stung. He slowly pulled the covers back and stood. The chill of the room amplified. As he turned to leave, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was becoming a ghost in his own home, fading away, unnoticed and unwanted.